Governor Dave Umahi's son graduates with honors from the University of Surrey. His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Ebonyi State, Dr. David Umahi, joined his oldest son, Osborne Umahi, to celebrate his graduation ceremony in the UK. It was gathered that the young man obtained his first degree certificate from Surrey University after undergoing a 4-year program at the institution. According to a report, Osborne has received several awards for his outstanding performance during his years of studies. Speaking earlier today, Umahi seek for prayers from the general public to bless his son's certificate as he takes another step to success in life. Following the recent development, the gentleman has been receiving criticisms by Nigerians after the statement he made a few days ago. It can be recalled that Dave Umahi said, and I quote, "Nigeria can't borrow money to pay Asuu. University education is not for everyone." However, the governor later clarified his statement after his attention had been drawn by his media aides. Well, congratulations to Mr. Osborne and his entire family. Wow, so this individual, Adewale Joseph, online, then actually quotes what Mr. David Umahi said, which is, "Nigeria can't borrow to pay Asuu. University education is not for everyone." Dave Umahi of APC Ebonyi State Governor, and his son graduated from the University of Surrey, UK, and of course the pictures are all around. Well, at the end of the day, congratulations to the boy. Unfortunately for him, he will not be excluded in conversations when it comes to his education and what his father, who is in government, who has the power to make sure education for those in his state, is attainable and of good quality, and actually continues not having breakpoints with strikes and all that. He will be included in conversation, just saying, yes, he studied, but look at who his father is. And so, for the young man, he's going to be involved in conversations like this. And unfortunately, there's really nothing you can do about it. So, if anything, what it shows is that they are concerned about their kids and they will send their kids abroad and would ask you to send your kids to universities in Nigeria. So, they also understand that for education, it's not worth investing for their children. And so if they have the means, which they do, of course, Nigeria would not be the first option for their kids. And what can you say? You can't really blame the man, but of course, he's in a corrupt government. And so everyone would be like, excuse me, so you can get this kind of education for your son, but those that you have the power to, better the education, what are you doing with it? Your father said university education is not for everyone, yet all his children are university graduates. Well, again, really what should happen is everyone goes against, or everyone talks about the individual, which is the governor of Ebonyi State, Mr. David Umahi. However, the issue now is his son will be involved in conversations like this. And I think, he's just incriminated himself with the statements he's made, and he can't expect anything less. Again, of course, it's a proud moment for your child, but then Dave Umahi decided if he decided, but the pictures are online anyways, and so it's not excluded or immune to the opinions of people. So what can they do about it? Of course, it shows how much, work does need to be done and the mentality of those that are in power. So again, they're very much selfish, and if it doesn't concern them, they're not going to do anything about it. It's as simple as that. You see why they cannot pay us, so let us chase them away. And again, when you say university education is not for everybody, it's like, well, get this man out of power. Because it's like, this is the mentality of the person that is governor of a state. If he's holding any leadership position, even prefect, is a red flag anyways. But how can you say that university education is not for everyone? What is that meant? What are you trying to imply? People, if Nigeria was a very, vast country whereby you can have vocational skills and you can be successful without necessarily going through the traditional route of, education and going to university, then that's a whole different situation. But when people step out of the traditional route, most likely it's as a result, again, of strikes and students having to find another means of work or something to keep themselves busy, or the fact that, listen, there are no jobs, and so it's like, why would I go and invest in my education when I'm going to come out and this industry in Nigeria is not big enough and doesn't have a market for me to have a secure job? So, when you are saying that, you are literally weakening your labor market. You look at the countries like the UK that his son has gone into, because I'm sure his son, if he's not a citizen, Dave Umahi would have paid international fees, and international fees in the UK are not cheap. So the problem is, the UK that your son is going into, his counterparts that are citizens of the country who have access to loans, their university fees are paid for by the government. Yes, when they start working, they would have to pay it back. But at the end of the day, it's such a long-term investment that the country is putting into their labor force by saying that, when we promote certain industries, and we're saying, we will give you the loans. At some point, even in the England themselves, they would even complain that the university fees are expensive, even though the government are giving them loans. At some point, it was free. At some point, it was cheaper. And now it's skyrocketed. But for international students, there is no way you are paying the same price as a home student. It doesn't work. So the son that your son that you're selling abroad is not also at the best of advantage, because if he's not a citizen, then you're paying extra like the rest. And the country in itself, the UK, has opportunities in a lot of industries. In fact, the country itself allows for immigrants to come in for certain industries that are understaffed, especially the medical field. So now it's like, so if a country like that can spend literally every year, can give out billions of pounds for education, and is willing to invest how much in that, how dare you say that university education is not for everyone in your own country? You see what the problem is? And so, of course, people have a right to be very annoyed. And, again, if he hadn't said anything, for the fact he's a Nigerian politician, whether he said anything bad or not, if he just posted the picture, he would get a backlash anyway, because he's part of the enablers of, how bad the country is. Anyways, fact is, given the statement he said, shows that those who are serious in a Ebonyi state, and again, he's an APC candidate, you see the correlation? Just saying, sometimes you may like an individual, but you really have to look at the party. So really, again, APC candidate, and this is what they're producing. These are the kind of candidates APC produces. So if you know what is good for you, if you want APC in your government with individuals and governors of this kind of mentality, well, that is on you. Put what you think about it in the comment section below, and don't forget to like and subscribe.